Welcome to Rack of the Week 139. This week's Rack of the Week, of course, has to be featuring the winner of last week's 14-1 championship in Norfolk, Virginia, and that's Mario He. The rack we're going to look at is versus yours truly. I had the unfortunate opportunity to play Mario in my very first match of the tournament, and he ran 162 balls, setting the tournament high run in his very first match, which he later beat and ran 168 and beat again and ran 170 to win the high run contest for the tournament as well. One thing I noticed about Mario is he put a lot of thought into all of his racks. In a solo high run attempt, a lot of the pros talk about how they kind of shoot more free form and don't try to think a lot, especially in the early racks of a run. They're trying to set a high run. But a tournament is different. You've got to make every single opportunity count. And boy, didn't I learn that at this tournament. And that's one of the things that Mario did. And on top of that, we'll take a look at his end pattern. It's pretty interesting the way he went about his end pattern. So this is Mario's break shot early in his run of 162 against me. And you can see as I look at him, he's looking at the angle of the break shot into the rack, and he's got kind of a shallow angle. So I think this is going to be hitting below center. I don't remember. Yeah, just below center. Notice that? And he knew just how to hit it to get the cue ball to come back up to center table. How many times have I hit that shot trying to do that and the cue ball sticks right here? So this is an excellent shot. Look at the first thing that Mario did. Did you see what he did? The very first thing he did after he shot the break shot, walk around the table and look. And he's looking right now. Now, it seems pretty obvious to me and probably to you. He has two shots to choose from. He can cut this stripe ball in the corner, and he has a shot on this 9 ball. The 9 ball is the obvious shot because it's going to open these balls. And I would just get down and shoot it and probably shoot with... you could shoot follow or draw, but I would probably use the draw to try and loosen these balls and draw the cue ball back. But we've seen Mario walk around the table once. Now he's standing behind the cue ball. Now he's going to walk over here and look again. Where exactly in this pack is his cue ball going to hit? Now, before he shoots the 9, look, he walked over here, just kind of leaned to the side. He's looking at the shot line from the 9, and only then does he get behind the cue ball to shoot the shot. So that was kind of a stun. I'm not sure if he tried to draw back, but he made sure to keep the cue ball in the open, knowing that balls were going to get knocked loose and he would have shots. As it is, a little bit fortunate he only has one shot, and that's this stripe ball. But did you see what he just did? Notice that we all know what he's going to shoot, right? He's going to shoot this stripe in the corner. Did he? And he was standing here when he shot that 9 ball. Did he stand there and shoot? No. Walked over and look. Okay. And he put his cue stick here and looked this way. And why is he doing that? Because he also has a shot on the 7. So he could shoot the 7 and nudge the 15 or the 1 ball into break shot position. Now he's going to look some more. If you nudge the 1 ball or the 15, you're likely to have a shot on this ball next, or on the 10 ball. So look at how much time he's taking to shoot what I would consider somewhat of a routine shot. Now he's ready to shoot. He comes over behind the cue ball, and then watch. Steps over and looks at the shot line for the 7, and only then does he get back behind the cue ball and hit it perfectly. Now, if he had hit that a little bit thinner, it'd be possible. Notice what he's doing again. As soon as he hit that shot, walking around and looking. But the cue ball might have snuck up behind this stripe and frozen back there, but he still has a shot here, or possibly on this ball if he needed to. But he's definitely got a shot on this stripe or on the 10 ball. So what's he going to do? Well, you know from the title of this video, he's going to think. So here he is using his feet again, walking over. I think he's asking himself, oh, well, there's a couple things he's doing there. He's asking himself, if I play the 10, where's the cue ball going to go? If it's here, what shot do I have? If I have this angle on the 6, I go from the 10 to like here, to shoot the 6. What does that afford? So lots of thinking and planning going on here. This is the early stages of a rack. He's got a little bit of congestion on this rail, and he needs to open this cluster, and he wants to do it with insurance. Obviously, he's committing to this 1 ball as the break ball. So let's take a look at what his choice is. Now he's walking back over here and looking again. Look at him, bend down and look. What is he looking at? I'm not sure. Maybe does this pink ball go in the side? I'm not sure. Now he's back behind the cue ball, and before he shoots, well, he's shooting the 10, so it's already in line. Okay, so that's positioned on the 6. Now he came well above the shot line. So I think this is pretty obvious as well as far as the next shot that needs to happen. Every straight pool player in the world is going to shoot the 6. Bring the cue ball 2 rails out of this corner, and you want to get past the 1. So as long as the cue ball comes in this area past the 1 ball, then you have a shot on both of these stripes, and then you can work out a way to safely open up this cluster. So we all know that's what he's going to shoot, but watch the amount of time he takes looking at it. Stepping over here now, taking a look. Exactly where do I want to be in order to shoot one of these stripe balls next? Now, did you see what he just did? He walked over behind the 6 ball. I'm going to play that again because it's kind of important. And I'm talking to myself. This is something I really need to incorporate in my game. Look at him stand behind the 6 ball. Oh, maybe he's off screen and you can't quite tell. But Mario He is standing in line with the 6 ball to the pocket right over here, 3 feet away from the table, facing the 6, and he's bent over at the waist, sighting the 6 ball into the pocket. This is the winner of the 14-1 championship. So take from that what you will. Only when he's done that work and that thought process does he step behind the cue ball. And didn't feel right, so get up off the shot and re-enter the shot. All things that I keep telling myself I need to do and haven't made a habit yet. But Mario, he sure has. What do you do after you shoot this shot? Walk, use your feet, look. Now, again, probably pretty out. Look what he just did. Now, he put his finger on the rail right here. Okay? Now, it's probably pretty obvious that he's going to shoot this stripe. And the reason is this one, you'd have to hit perfect to sneak it past the other one. And if you don't hit it perfect, it'll bounce off the rail, hit this other stripe, and you'll miss. So obviously, he's going to shoot this ball. And I would approach this without as much thinking as Mario He, and I would just bounce off the rail over here so that I have an angle on this 13 and then possibly go off the rail into those or something else. Something else involving much less thought. Why is Mario He putting his finger on the rail here? It's because that's where he needs to be to shoot this 15 in the corner and bump those balls open. So that's a narrow positional window. He doesn't have to shoot that. He can shoot a positional route with much less risk. But he needs this shot because that's the one that affords the best opportunity to open these balls with insurance, like, for example, for a shot on this ball back this way, or getting all 3 of these balls open in a manner that he can control them and get a shot on them. So he's going to go ahead and get position on the 15 here without concern. Well, I'm sure he's concerned, but he's making sure that the cue ball doesn't come past this point because then he's hooked behind the 1 ball. If that happens, he'll still have a shot on this stripe. But watch the cue ball control. Off the rail, perfect, just where he needs it. I've talked about attention to detail is what I call it, but this is what I'm talking about. Excellent cue ball positioning. That's what you need in order to be a high runner in straight pool. So, standing behind the object ball, and he hasn't shot yet. He's going to walk over and look. What is he looking at? Why wouldn't you just shoot? It's obvious you're going to shoot this with a high ball, softly, to cut the 15 in the corner and open this cluster. What he's looking at is where these balls going to go. You're shooting with a high ball. The cue ball is going to hit the 3. The 8 ball is going to go this way. The 5 ball is probably going to go this way, unless if the cue ball hits it and knocks it this way. The 3 ball might not move at all, unless if the cue ball, which the cue ball will probably hit the 3 ball twice, which will knock the 3 ball this way. So he's looking at that, and he's gauging what speed of shot to get these balls distributed well and not, he doesn't want to knock the 5 ball way up table. Or I think that's the pink 4. That's what he's doing. Thinking, thought process. Very important to play the top tier straight pool that Mario plays. Did you notice again? I'll play it again. He's ready to shoot. He's still looking at it, walks over and stands behind the object ball. You probably, I think he's a little bit off screen, but the shot line for the 15 is here. And Mario is standing right over there behind the shot line, both feet facing the 15, and he did a little bend over at the waist and sighted the 15. Now, how easy is this shot? None of us are going to miss the 15 ball. Mario's not going to miss it. It's part of the process. When you make it part of the process on every shot, he's not thinking about it. It's just what he always does. So he just does it. That's what you need. That's going to bring you that consistency and confidence in your plan. Only then does he step behind the object ball. Now he has the speed of the shot that he wants down. Look where the balls went. Perfect location. Now you're going to see Mario think about this a lot. I'll pause him for a second here, because that's it. The rack is solved. All the problems are solved. And so now he's in the end pattern. So he wants to work out the end pattern right now. He shoots something that I don't shoot, and there's more than one way to run these out from here. And let me know in the comment section what you think. But here's how I look at this as far as rack analysis for the end pattern. You have 2 blocker balls. The 11 blocks the 14, and the 3 blocks this 4. Now, of those 2, the 3 isn't a big concern, because this, I'm calling it the 4. Yeah, it's probably the 4, because the 4 also goes in the side pocket. So this is the issue. Now, that's the first concern. The second concern is, how do you develop an end pattern? You start at the end and work backwards. So this is the break ball, and what's the best key ball? The best key ball, in my opinion, is this ball, the 2. I think that's the 2. And especially because you have 2 balls over here to use as a K2, you can get yourself the perfect angle to just go 2 rails around. And that's a much better key ball than the 14. The 11 is a terrible key ball, but you could never use it anyway because it's a blocker ball. You're going to have to shoot it first and then come back for the 14. But the 14 is tricky because you can end up with too much angle in this direction or too much angle in this direction, and you can't hold your cue ball for the break ball. So for that reason, what I see for an end pattern is I want to shoot the 3, come across the table so I can shoot the 11. Even if I get an angle like this, I'll be able to tap the 11 in and shoot one of these balls to play position for the 4 in the side. And then I can bring the cue ball back here, shoot the 14, and the 14 is very natural to get me right back onto my K2 ball, whichever one of these that I leave. In my opinion, that's the best end pattern. Do you like my pun? He thinks, Mario, he thinks. Okay. Anyway, so he's taking a look. He wants to see if the 11 is frozen. I mean, he's checking everything, attention to detail. And at first, it looks to me like Mario's going to shoot my end pattern, because he does shoot the 3 ball first and come across table here. By the way, if you come across the table here and get a shot on the 14 up in this corner, you probably don't want to take it, because you need this ball to transition to here so you can shoot your K2. So at this point, he's come too far. So it's possible that Mario had my end pattern in mind. Yeah, you saw him put his cue stick here. He may have wanted a shallower angle and he just didn't get it. So that means one of 2 things. Either he's going to have to use the 14 as a key ball with the other pattern that I mentioned. In other words, he's got because he has too much angle on this stripe, he has to shoot the 8. So he can go from the 8 to the 4 to the 11, and then shoot this ball, and get back over here for the 14. Or from the 11 down to the 2, and then use the 13 to go forward and back and get on this 14. I hope that makes sense. But you see how much running around the cue ball has to do. Unless, if you can shoot this 8, get an angle on this pink to get the cue ball over here where you can shoot the 14 up table, and then shoot the 11, and then you're right on your K2 to get on the 2 for key ball. So let's see what Mario does. So obviously that's positioning this ball on the side. And I like what he's done because he's come past the shot line. So now you can just use a high ball to come over here. I'd be surprised if he comes. Oh, he is going to. No, he's going to come across for the 11. Yeah. So that makes sense. And now he has an easier route to get close to it. And he didn't quite get close enough. Well, maybe he can tap this in and hold the cue ball here. I'm not sure. I don't remember now what he shoots. I think he goes to that 2 ball. Yeah, he's committing to the 14 as the break ball. And he had to do that because on the first shot of his end pattern, he got too much angle on this 11 when he wanted to be over here. So, more thinking. Didn't just bend over and shoot the 2. Walked over behind the 2 and looked, because he can go 2 different ways for this. I believe it might be the 12. I think this is that different color ball set. But if you have a shallow angle on this 12, then you can go 2 rails like this. But if the cue ball ends up here, you can go 2 rails to the head rail and over. Both of those will work. They both have a risk of getting the wrong angle on that 14 ball for the key ball. So he's chosen the shallow angle, and that's what I would do too. I think the 3 rail route, the 3 rail route has it might be a small chance, but it has a chance of scratching in the side. So you kind of want to take that out of the picture and do this 2 rail route. Because of where the 14 is, even if the cue ball gets on the rail, he can probably hold the cue ball. But if that 14 ball was here, that's a really tough route to hold that cue ball so that you don't go past it. So as it is, perfect. And this is a really nice angle. Here's the parallel line. He's a good, ball diameter or more inside the parallel line. So I think I would hit, because of this approach angle of the cue ball in here, I would hit this break shot with a high ball. Look at this guy, Keller, racking the balls. Man, he's doing a good job of racking those balls, huh? I did give him tight racks the whole run. I gave him perfectly tight racks, and he ran 162. This, to me, looks like a natural high ball. The cue ball is going to curve around that corner ball to the bottom rail, possibly to the side rail. Mario, however, is going to shoot this with a low ball, and it's that typical one where the cue ball goes to the side rail and then has that spin, naturally going to pick up contact-induced spin that's going to drive it down towards the bottom rail. Boy, did it drive, too. That cue ball went 2 rails. If it didn't hit another ball, it had the speed to go to this rail and off. What a break shot. So excellent break shot. Only 4 balls in the rack area. He doesn't have any good break balls, but we know he ran 162, so he makes one. Really good example rack by Mario He. As I said, I could have chosen from a couple dozen other racks as well, and I might feature him again next week. We'll see. But if you have a chance, I'm going to put a link in the description. Go to Onsite Pool, and you can get a pass. I think it's only $20, and you can watch every single match of the 14-1 straight pool tournament. They had cameras on every single table, and just some fantastic straight pool last week. Hope you like that rack of the week. I'm going to feature other players from the tournament as well as possibly myself. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, and see you next week on Rack of the Week. Bye.